The Golden Diamond Source has been in business for nearly 4 decades and is one of the largest family-owned jewelry stores in America.
We have the largest selection of white and fancy colored diamonds and gemstones you'll find anywhere.
We also have private areas for VIP viewings.
Only at the Golden Diamond Source.
Everyone has a story to tell. It's my mission to tell it. Unscripted, unedited. We are on the record.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarina. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Love in America, brought to you, of course, by the Golden Diamond Source. And everybody knows how much I love sharing love stories. Well, here's a couple that I've known for a while, been very prominent in the Tampa Bay community, and I am so honored to introduce Dr. David Halpern and his beautiful wife, Silvia. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thank you for being on Love in America.
We're excited.
Thank you.
Dr. David Halpern is looking like, okay, I was roped into this thing, but I'll do it.
She's reading my mind. Typical female.
So I have to say, we have viewers now across the world, so I'm so blessed by that. But we are in Tampa, Florida, and you are a plastic surgeon.
Yes.
Here in Tampa. And Silvia, you work with your husband.
I do.
So I have to say, a funny story, I've gone in there, done stories. I had no clue that you guys were married until I went to a charity event. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was at your house, I believe.
Yes.
So, I mean, no one in a million years would know. In fact, our director of production, Carl Prentice, who is also sadly, I said we would mention on the air, he was bit in the nose. And thank you, Dr. Halpern, for taking care of him.
You're welcome.
I said, they're married. And he said, what? They're married? And I said, yes, they are married. But you guys have the sweetest love story. So Silvia, tell us about that first. So at work, though, my gosh.
It's crazy. It's busy. That's his domain. And I respect him, and I call him Dr. H in the office. And a lot of people ask, are you guys married? And I kind of say 9 to 5 we are, and I kind of keep it that way. He knows my domain is the house. But yeah, it works. It really does. I guide the patients, I help them, and we go from there.
Well, you guys have been married now for 20 years. You
Yeah.
just celebrated your 20th wedding anniversary on the 2nd, right, of December.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with you, Dr. David Halpern. Celebrating your 20th wedding anniversary. What was that like, and did it bring you back to the first day that you met your beautiful wife?
Well, we did it in like one of those surreal locations. We're in Miami. Everyone's like, oh, Miami. But we went to the Versace mansion in Miami Beach. It was just so beautiful. The setting is just amazing. I would recommend it to anyone. It's just really, really nice, very special. And it does bring back a lot of things. We met, she wouldn't give me the time of day. Okay?
Really?
Really?
Not the time of day. And eventually, after days of chasing, she gave me her pager number. Not even a phone number.
A pager number.
Pager.
Okay, so and you guys met in the operating room.
We did.
Right, so you're a surgical tech,
Yep.
right? Okay, so tell us what happened though. So did you spot her? What happened?
Well, so I was visiting from Maine. I was an attending in Maine, and they had this special course about doing melanoma and sentinel lymph node biopsy, and there was a doctor there who was really specialized in it. So I was coming to learn a technique, and it was like a lab, and then you go to the OR and you actually see them do it. Well, she was the surgical technician with the doctor.
And this was at Moffitt Cancer Center, right? Okay,
Yes.
So, all right, so she's the technician, and did you notice her immediately? What happened?
Just kind of, in the operating room, it's very unflattering. You're like in scrubs and like a hat, like in a mask, and you're just kind of like one of these things, and we just kind of locked the eyes. That was the first thing. And she looked away, and I was like, whoa, okay. So.
But you said something.
Well, yeah, I did. You're
Okay,
right.
all right.
It was really terrible. It was a really terrible pickup line.
It was the worst. So I heard you used to work for an airline.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, excuse me, where are you from? And he's like, I'm from Maine. I'm like,
Where's
oh, welcome.
Right.
He goes, so you did work for an airline, right? I go, yes, I did.
Wow. Okay. Wait. But okay. Explain the pickup line though. Did you really worked for an airline?
I did. I worked for Piedmont Airlines.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So did he meet you? Did he ever see you?
No,
why would that
he
come
found out. He was asking about me for the 2 days on video. So we're really busy 2 days taping, and the doctors are off-site. Then the next 2 days they come into the operating room, and it's extreme. It's fast, and let's go. And I'm getting ready to move out of one room, and I hear, so I heard you used to work for an airline. And that's when I said, excuse me, where are you from? He's like, Maine. And I'm thinking, where the heck is Maine? You know, I'm a Costa Rican, hello. You know, and he's telling me, and I'm like, okay, thanks, I'll see you. And that was it. And all day he kept asking and kept pursuing, and one of the nurses said, listen, just go out with him. He's never coming back. It's okay, just have a nice dinner. He's been asking about you. And I went, what? I'm like, no, I don't date these guys. And she's like, just go have dinner.
Oh my gosh, okay, wait. So I have to say, I rarely get stumped, and the thing about the airline actually did stump me, but now that you've explained it,
yes,
which is so sweet, that he was researching you.
He did.
Okay, that is adorable. Okay, now, and you know, thank goodness for your colleague that said go out to dinner with him.
Yes, she did.
So what was your status at that point? Like, had you been single for a while?
I was single for a while, and so, listen, I hear the residents talking about, I'm going out with so-and-so, and you just kind of kept hearing it, I'm like, oh, these docs, oh my gosh, who's going to go out with these guys? They're a mess. They're constantly a mess. So I was like, no. And I said, excuse me, so one of the nurses says, just go out with him. He's single, he's from Maine. I said, he probably has 2.3 kids. She goes, you can't have 2.3 kids. I'm like, okay, but no, I'm not doing it. And all day he was persistent. I'm coming out of the bathroom with like my mask still on. We have not seen our faces.
You haven't seen your faces yet?
No, the mask is on. I mean, literally, we're running into room to room. And he's like, dinner? I'm like, no, and he's like, your phone number? And the nurse is looking at me, and she's like, I gave him my beeper.
Oh my gosh. And right now, all this is based on eyes.
All is based on eyes.
Okay, so you give him your beeper number.
I do, yeah.
And you give him your beeper number, you're giving him your beeper. I promise, Dr. Halpern, you're going to get a word in here. David, but I can't call you David. I have to call you Dr. Halpern. Okay, so you give him the beeper.
I do. And next morning, he sends me a beep, and an hour later or so, I respond. He's like, you want to go to dinner at Bernini's? I'm like, Bernini's? He's like, yeah, 9 o'clock reservations. I'm like, 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock at night?
Yeah, he's a New Yorker. So,
right.
yeah, 9 o'clock is a great time to go to dinner. And so I said, yes. And he goes, I'll pick you up. And I said, no, I'll meet you there. And
wow.
Yes.
And this was 20 years ago, 24 years ago, actually.
Yes. And so I met him there, and the Green Bay Packers were playing, and it was in the 40s. Mm-hmm. Had my little jacket. I'm outside waiting, outside Bernini's, and 9 o'clock, 9:10, 9:20, he comes running in. I mean, I am like, okay, I say yes, he's not here.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm getting ready to leave, and he comes running around. The first time we meet, we have no mask or scrubs or anything on. And he said, Sylvia, I'm sorry I couldn't find parking. Gives me a kiss on the cheek. He goes, would you like to go in? And I go, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is why I love this show so much, because it's unedited, unscripted. I know very little information before we start.
This is it.
So that's the first time that you saw him?
Yes, full face.
Okay, and what were you thinking at that time?
I'm in trouble. He's adorable. Yes, yes. But the best part is that when we're having drinks, my old flight attendant was the bartender.
You are kidding.
So the drinks kept coming. The champagne, the wine, everything.
Kept coming.
Kept coming.
And he kept on getting cuter and cuter and cuter.
Yes, yes, yes. And I remember going to the restroom going left, right, left. Yes.
Okay, so on that note, he's like, all right, they've been talking. I'm really here. I'm sitting in this chair. So when you see Silvia for the first time, what are you thinking?
I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is really, I'm glad I'm here.
So they say guys know immediately. Did you know in the operating room?
I didn't really know. Mm-hmm. I had really a strong sense that this is something, I was not prepared for any of this. It's not like, yeah, I'm going to come to Florida and hook up, this is my purpose, right? I'm here for 3-4 days. I'm going back to freezing temperatures, et cetera, et cetera. And I am going, I did not expect this. And I'm chasing her. I don't know why I'm chasing her, but I don't know anything about her, but I have to pursue this. And then we had this fabulous dinner, and a couple of drinks. And then in Ybor, they had this, I'd never been to Ybor City. I said to her, let's go to Ybor. She goes, what do you know about Ybor? It was the first time I was ever in Tampa, okay?
So the first time in Tampa?
First time ever. Okay. And then we're walking around, we see this dance club, and it's got a boxing ring in it, and it's like a dance club. Mm-hmm. And the first dance we did was a Macarena.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. And then We danced like for hours. It seemed like hours. Just like, it was just so natural, so easy.
So it was magical.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, like no pressure. He was going back. We had a great dinner. We danced. It was nice.
So, but let's talk about that. So when you came here for that conference, you had no intention of moving to Tampa.
Hell no.
All right. So and this is the last night that he's here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the last night. So what happened?
I finally got her number. I earned that. And we kind of had like a long distance kind of telephone, like get to know each other.
Yes, on the phone.
Like 1,400 miles away.
Right, and so, you know, at that time too, right, like 24 years ago, as you guys said, you know, we don't have cell phones. It's like, and you have to be by the phone, as you said, there's pagers, you know. So you were in your residency program, Dr.
No,
Halpern?
I was down. I was an attending.
So, oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. You were actually an attending.
I was like my first year or two out from my hand fellowship. So I was like 2 years into my, you know, like being an attending.
So how long? And you know, I come from a family of doctors, so I do know. Like at that point, okay. So at this point, though, how long had you guys been talking on the phone?
A while.
A while.
A long while. But I was like, all right. So met this person, really great personality, loves to dance, awesome looks. Like I want more.
Wow. Okay, but what is a long while? Is it months? Is it
months?
Months.
Yeah, months. And then I had a conference. And I was like, look, would you be willing to like, let's meet. If we can't meet back in Tampa, do you want to, like, I'm going to this place. Let's just, you know, we can meet somewhere else. Doesn't have to be Tampa, right? So we had kind of like a long distance relationship for a while.
What's a while, Silvia?
I would say a year and a half.
A long distance relationship.
Yeah.
So when he asked you to meet at that conference, did you go?
I did.
You did go. And
at the Venetian.
At the Venetian.
Venetian.
Oh.
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale.
How fun. So at this point, now this is the second time you're seeing him, right? So at this point, are you thinking, I'm going to marry this guy?
No.
Not yet?
No, he was very protective, and you know, his world is very crazy. You know, he's getting into his own practice. He just finished with the hand, and I thought, we're just going to have fun. You know, guard the heart a little bit and have fun and see where this goes. After I left the Venetian, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
Again, because you said that at Bernini, which is an old bank building, by the way, in Ybor, for those people who may not know. It's a wonderful Italian restaurant.
And I bought for our wedding, we did everything through the air. Fly here, fly there. So our theme has always been sky's the limit. So there is
the limit. That's adorable.
Yes. So we actually put it on the concrete, the little area that you can buy.
She bought like a brick, you know.
Oh, and at Bernini, I've got to look for it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So it's there.
So after you left the Venetian, though, in Scottsdale, again you say, I'm in trouble.
Yes.
So you're falling deeper and deeper and deeper.
I am.
But are you thinking too? Okay, here he is, a doctor in Maine. Is he really going to move to me, or were you willing to move to him at this point?
I moved to Maine. I moved to Maine.
You did?
I was there 9 cold months.
Okay.
Yes, it was very tough for me, but I did. I moved to Maine, and I didn't get used to the weather. You know, everybody's like an outdoor person. I'm not. I'm from Costa Rica, so, you know, it's a little different. But yeah.
So when did you move to Maine? Like how far into the courtship?
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. So you asked Silvia to move to Maine, and is it because she was uncomfortable in Maine that your love for her and the sky's the limit, Dr. Halpern, you decided to move back to Florida, or how did you get here?
Well, it was kind of like, she was totally out of her element. I mean, tropical girl. She moves to Maine with like 13 pairs of sandals and a pair of penny loafers. Okay? So the first trip has to be to like, you know, the outlets to like get her winter gear, like a coat that covers her butt, you know, all these necessary things, because Maine is, you know, and you know, you have to plug your car in at night, and so she had the garage, and then winter driving.
I hit every mailbox in town.
Oh my gosh, bless your heart.
Well, it's just, she was out of her element, but she stuck her neck out. Clearly, you know, I would say like we're all like turtles. We don't make any progress unless we stick your neck out a little bit in life. So clearly, we rented this little cottage. I swear to God, this was an old place. It didn't even have a closet. the bathroom was so small you could basically do everything within 3 square feet, you know. But it was where we were, and kind of we were glamping it. I know it wasn't the most glamorous place in the world, but like her best friend got married, so we took a trip to Hawaii together.
Beautiful Hawaii.
She was the maid of honor at this wedding. And just all this traveling we did and just being there, and it was really kind of just us, because it really was, my family's from New York, they're not in Maine, and her family's, you know, even further away.
Right.
So it was a kind of a time for us to, you know, grow closer, understand like who we are, like what's it like to be with this person. I think we were both at that stage in our lives. We weren't 20, you know, we'd already been through some things in our lives, so it was kind of like, let's figure this out. Let's really figure this out. And then she's like, you know, I really don't like it here. I mean, I love you, but I don't like this. And so I really want to move back to Florida. So I started looking for a job.
Wow. Okay, so hold that thought, because we're going to go for a break, and then we're going to come back and learn more about your journey to Florida. Okay, stay with us, everybody.
Thinking about getting engaged, planning to upgrade your wedding ring, or finally getting that Rolex?
The Golden Diamond Source can help you in many ways.
You can start a layaway plan for only 10% down and 6 monthly payments.
Take advantage of our 3 to 5 year interest-free financing.
Or you can trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase.
Come to the Golden Diamond Source and find that perfect gift for the ones that you love.
Looking for the perfect gift? February's birthstone is amethyst. It promotes healing and balance in your life. It also symbolizes strength, friendship, and loyalty, and it's a 6th anniversary stone. Amethysts range from a deep purple to the palest shade of pastel lavender. Our Emily collection of affordable golden diamond jewelry is always stylish and unique. It will be cherished for a lifetime. And make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond.
Welcome back to Love in America, everyone. I'm here with Dr. David Halpern and his beautiful wife, Silvia. They just celebrated, actually, their 20th wedding anniversary. And we were just talking about how Silvia took a leap of faith and moved to Bangor, Maine, to be with you, a town of 30,000 people, and very, very, very cold, where you can't really be very fashionable. No, not at all. But at this point, too, and you guys are not engaged.
No.
Right? So you discuss it. And I mean, talk about a leap of faith. You love her so much that you're willing to move back to Florida. But when do you propose?
Well, we moved back. I had to relocate a practice. So after 3 years, you basically develop a little practice. I had to tell the company I was with, like, you know, I'm moving. It was oh my God, it was like, what? You're leaving after 3 years? What's wrong? I'm like, you know, I think we're going to be building our life somewhere else. So
that's it. You know what? Let's stay with this just though a minute. Here you are. You've done how many years?
17 years.
17 years, guys. 17 years.
College, med school, residencies, fellowships.
And you build, and 3 years of building a practice is a long time.
Yeah.
So clearly, the love for your not even fiance yet. I mean, I never get stumped for words, right? But my heart, I know, my heart is palpitating. I mean, that is the sweetest thing. And maybe it's because I have brothers that are doctors. And, you know, I've seen all those years and years that you put into it. But anyway, so Dr. Halpern, so I can imagine they were shocked.
She tried. She certainly stuck her neck out. And she, you know, being together with someone is about, you know, you both being happy. It's not just about you. And if she doesn't have the real possibility of, you know, living a full life, she's not going to stay or not going to be happy. It's so, you know, I said, you know, she stuck her neck out. I can do what I do, you know, anywhere really. So we looked at, you know, let's find a place. You know, maybe there's an opportunity. Let's go look. Let's see.
And it brought you back to Tampa, and we're so fortunate to have you.
Thank you.
So when did you propose, and how did you do it?
Oh, that's a beautiful story.
So I would sneak back. I was in New York for a thing, and I had bought this ring. And I can never hide anything from her. She always finds everything. And even when I can't find it or I'm not lost, she finds it. So I had this big carabiner, like it carries like all my keys and everything. I have like cars and boats and motorcycles. It was a big thing. So I just put it on there. And I laid it next to my bed. And for months, it was there. And she never saw her engagement ring.
Wow.
And then we were going up to a conference in Baltimore. And we decided to take a couple days because I've never been on the east coast of the Chesapeake Bay. It's really, really beautiful. And unbeknownst to her, I had rented one of those old sailboats that used to go and harvest oysters in the bay. And we were in this bed and breakfast, and I told the people that this is what I'm doing. And these people were at the door, like, looking, and she's like, they're looking at us. Like, why are they looking at us? And I'm like, oh, they just want us to have a good time. And we were at the pool, and the people like, oh, there's a sunset cruise, you guys should do it. I'm like, oh, let me go back and see. And I'd already rented the boat that night, just for us.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You are kidding. Oh my gosh,
And
you're
it was cold.
crying. You're crying. This is so sweet. Because did you have any idea?
None.
Oh
None.
my
No, he
gosh.
brings this bottle.
So a bottle of
Here's
champagne.
Yes.
And I had joked around with her a while back. I had a Cracker Jacks ring, and I put it on her finger. I was like, holy crap, that fits the ring. So I took it. I had it in my dopp kit, and that's how I sized
Years.
her ring.
That's how
I had it in there for years.
You're kidding.
No.
From a Cracker Jack box.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
so
amazing.
Then we're in the middle of the ocean, and we jump on this boat, and it takes off. She's like, whoa. And the captain goes, oh, everyone else canceled, just you tonight, but we're going to take you. So they set sail.
And did you fall for that too?
I
Were you
did.
thinking, oh
I
my
did.
gosh.
We
Oh my
set
gosh.
sail at sunset. We're in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay, and I got on my knee, and I got the Cracker Jacks ring out, and I said, will you marry me? And she's like, yeah, we'll see, like that. It was like one of those things. And then the first mate brings the ring box with the real ring,
Oh my gosh.
with the bottle of
Yeah.
champagne.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Yeah, and they turned right at sunset. It was beautiful.
Oh
Yes.
my
The
gosh.
whole town knew it, so when we came back, they're like,
they're-
did she say yes?
Yes.
Oh my
and then they all want to buy you drinks, and he's like, we have reservations, we gotta go. And I'm like, okay. And the drinks just kept coming. You're just, thank you, thank you.
Just like that first date when the drinks kept on coming.
They did.
Oh my gosh.
did.
So talk about being blown away. That was, oh
It was amazing.
my gosh.
Amazing.
And so how many years was that, would you guys say, after
4 years.
your first?
Yeah,
4 years,
4
of
years.
course, because you guys have been
Yeah.
married for
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so, oh gosh. And it was, I love that when it's such a surprise.
It was a total surprise. Lady Patty, that was the name of it.
Gosh. So what about the wedding then?
The wedding was, we had it in December, close to when we met, the date. And that way we can only remember one day.
Why do guys always do that? It's
just
so
their
funny.
thing.
It's like this thing with guys, you know. Sometimes I always say, sometimes the guys, you know how they get the wedding date engraved
Yes.
in the ring.
So that's ring number 7. We're not counting that. No.
Life of a surgeon.
And we decided just to do it small. He knows a lot of people, and it got to like 400 to 600 people. And I just said, you know, it's just us. Let's just do simple family and small friends. I think it was
49.
49
Wow.
people. That was it. Yes, and that was it.
Wow, and now you guys have 3 boys, 3 beautiful boys, and one of the boys is getting married.
One of the boys is getting married.
Oh my gosh, so how is that making you feel?
Wow, it's emotional. I can't wait. I mean, she's adorable. Brianna's amazing. Jeremy and Brianna are going to do great. Yeah.
And what advice, like when you see them, do you see a lot of yourselves in them?
Yes. Well, we had to pick a song. That was emotional.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the one time you dance with your son. And we picked a song, and that was hard. You're thinking of, like, you're listening to all the lyrics and how does it mean for the two of you? And we picked it. So it was amazing.
What song did you pick?
Should I say?
Oh, is it supposed to be a secret, or can we
Kind
say?
of.
Oh, it is. So
Kind of.
no, if it's a secret, keep it a secret because
Yes.
the wedding is coming up on March
But it
26th.
describes us, the
Oh,
two of
that's
us.
so
He says it's
sweet.
your era. How about like the Bee Gees, ABBA, that kind of era?
So
and the lyrics describes the two of us.
Oh my gosh, but that is, I mean, and the fact, you know, you're thinking about the dance with your son.
I am.
Oh my
I am.
gosh.
Great, great kid. He really is.
So, you know, we've done a lot of these shows now, and it's my favorite series of all the series. And I always ask couples at the very, you know, as we wrap up the show, what advice would you give to other people out there seeking love? Or, you know, staying in a great marriage?
Go first.
Work, be unselfish, compromise, and seek a path that will lead to your satisfaction, your happiness. I think that's it. And there's a lot of happiness and satisfaction. Sometimes it doesn't come directly, but it's indirectly, either through your children or through your work or vacation or whatever. Sometimes it's a real surprise, you know. But you have to also deal with the challenges as well.
Beautifully said.
For me, I think the love that I have for him, because we work together and we go home together, is I respect him highly for what he does. We go to meetings and people are like, hey, Dr. Halpern, you wrote a paper 30 years ago and we're now doing research on it. And I'm in awe. So for me, it's the respect that I have for him. I met him as a doctor first, and then he became my husband.
Right.
So I have 2 levels. The advice I would give couples or my children is take it day by day, dance through this whole journey, laugh. I'm more the softie, and just remember to respect each other.
My gosh, so clearly too, as you took your leap of faith, you believe in true love.
I do. Now that we're empty nesters and the boys are gone, we kind of just like, okay, our little meals together. What's next? Here's my sous chef. It's interesting. It's fun. We're enjoying it. And like our next trip, where are we going? And we don't have anyone at home.
It's like you're dating again.
It is. It is.
So, Dr. Halpern, you would say too that you believe in true love, clearly.
I think, for a while I was kind of like a confirmed bachelor. I really was, But I think for men, I think it's maybe a little differently because you don't have this timetable sometimes that women face. And so you never know what's going to happen. I mean, it's just, sometimes it just hits you right in the face, I mean, you can't stop it. It's pheromones, it's timing. I really believe it's timing. Like I always said, I say to my sons all the time, I said, there are a lot of people in the world that you can meet, that you're attracted to, that you could fall in love with, right? But it has to be timing and opportunity, right? If there was only one person you can meet in the world, you would never just meet that one person. So there's a subset of people that you can meet, that you find attractive, that are stimulating, you can talk with, that you can travel with, and it's the right timing. So clearly it was the right time.
Boy, and we are so happy that you shared your time to share your love story. Dr. David Halpern and his beautiful wife Silvia, who actually their first son is getting married. I mean, it's the first marriage of like you have 2 more boys to go. Guys, we love sharing the love story. So please, if you have a couple you would like to recommend for the show, please email it to us, or any other type of community story. And you can share these stories on multiple social media platforms. We're also now on Roku, which is really exciting, and there's some other big announcements coming soon. And thank you again to the Golden Diamond Source, of course, for sponsoring this show, because there's nothing like love, right?
Right.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
The first-time diamond buyers should feel comfortable coming here because our selection at the Golden Diamond Source is as large as you can imagine. So they don't have to worry about going to a store and feeling pressured about buying something. We educate them and they can make the right choice based on what's important to them.